An update from the Fed Chair Jay Powell over in the United States today. Rates remain unchanged at this stage. Tom Piotrowski, good morning to you. So there's been a late rally, I note. What does that mean for us today?
It's a good observation that you make, Pete. The market did actually finish with a flourish of buying. The S&P 500 gained 0.4% at its worst levels. It was down by 0.5%. So it was a fairly choppy session and turned around the comments that were made by the US Fed chairman. Essentially nothing terribly novel in what Mr. Powell said. The US Central Bank remains in wait-and-see mode. They highlighted the uncertainty and also recognised the solid standing of the US economy in the last month, but still they are pensive and waiting to see what impact the higher tariffs will have as far as employment growth and inflation. And on that basis, it's just time to keep the powder dry and wait to see what happens over coming months. But Pete, that flourish of buying turned more around reports that have been on the newswires suggesting that the Trump administration is going to remove the curbs that have been applied on chip sales to China specifically. So we just need to see some further confirmation of that. But if that's the case, that should see Asian markets do a little bit better in regional terms today. It'll just lift sentiment. It'll be an important thawing, I suppose, of that conversation between China and the US when it relates to trade in general, but on an area of acute interest, which is technology. So that's something to bear in mind. Other stocks that stood out last night in the US, Walt Disney was up substantially on better than expected earnings. The shares finished up by 11%. But one thing that stood out in the technology space was Alphabet shares, Pete. So in an antitrust court trial that's currently taking place in Washington, a senior Apple official said that Google's traffic on Apple devices has fallen for the first time in the last 22 years last month in terms of traffic, suggesting that Google is giving up ground to AI functionality when it comes to search. That worked out poorly for Alphabet shares last night. They finished down by about 7.5%.
Okay, got it. Tom Piotrowski, thank you.